Hello students, in the previous session we discussed some programs, right? We discussed about how we can construct our programs and how we can use for loop. Okay, that is all we discussed in the previous session. We discussed about your initialization, how we can initialize our loop, right? Then what all test conditions are used, and then the increment and decrement operator, right? We discussed about all these things. Then we also discussed an example related to that, and we also did one program related to that. Fine. I also gave you the overview of counters. Okay, so but again I am taking from counters because I got some queries from certain students that ma'am, please could you please explain the counters again. Okay, so now I'm explaining you counters again. Counters is basically, it is also a variable. Okay, it is a variable which actually holds the number of times that process is executed. Like for example, if we see this, okay, we have got our this program, we have got a series printed from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and this thing we have not written the program 10 times, right? But this statement is been executed 10 times. Fine. So the counter will be 10. Fine, because it is actually executed 10 times. This complete thing is executed 10 times. Like your for loop is actually went up till 10 times, so the counter will hold 10 position. Fine. The variable which stores the number of times that process is repeated means to store the repetition count, like how many times this loop is repeated. Fine. So that is holded by your counter. We will be taking this example to input 10 characters and print the number of vowels and consonants. Fine. The first 3 lines will remain same. Your hash include iostream.h, conio.h, void main. Then your braces will start CLR SCR for your clear screen. Then character CH, like the way you actually describe int, right? In the previous examples we did that. Fine. So here we have taken a variable named ch of character type. The data type is your character type. Then int v, c, v is equals to 0 and c is equals to 0. These things, okay, like int v and c you can write together. Then in the next line what you'll be writing is v is equals to 0. In the next line you can write c is equals to 0. You can write in the continuation also, but in the next line also you can write. Then for int I is equals to 1, that I is equals to 1, from here we are starting our loop. I is less than equal to 10, so it will go up till 10 position. Okay, the moment the I will be holding 10, okay, this loop will stop. Like when 10 will be there, it will be executed, but when 11 will be there, like after incrementing, then it will stop. Okay, let's see here. This will not be count here, this will be C out. Okay, it is a misprint over here. Okay, so C out, enter a character. Fine. In the next line it will move C in CH. Okay, C in CH. Okay, then we have used a switch case over here. Okay, we have taken a switch case, and switch case is for your character. Fine. The ch variable which we took. Fine. Okay, then here is case 1. When we take switch case, when we take switch as a keyword, then what do we use? We use cases. Okay, we make cases, we make some modules like case A, case E, case I, case O, case U. Okay, what are these? These are basically your vowels. Fine. So we have already inputted the vowels. Okay, that okay, if you enter a character, like if you enter the character A, okay, then the computer will print that the number of vowel, okay, the number of vowels, like how many vowels are there, it will be printing over there. Break default C is equals to C plus 1, then break. Then see out the number of vowels are it will be executing with V, and the number of consonants are C. Okay, get CH. Okay, here what is happening is it is going up till 10, right? So you will be able to enter 10 alphabets. Enter a character A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. These are the 10 characters, the first 10 characters. Okay, and in this it has calculated the number of vowels are 3 and the number of consonants are 7. Explanation of it is, here variable C and V are your counters. C and V are your counters. This will be taking up +1. Okay, C and V both have initialized to 0. They both have been initialized to 0. When the character entered by the user is a vowel, 1 is added to V. It is 0 on the very first go, but when it is a character, when the character is a vowel, then it will be +1. Clear? Otherwise break will be there, and default is your C is equals to C plus 1, and C is also initialized to 0, so 0 plus 1 will be 1. Otherwise the character will be 1. The process will repeat 10 times as we have seen in the loop. One more important thing to be noted here is the use of your switch case. When the same statement is to be executed for multiple case statements, it should be given after the last case statement. Fine? Nested loop. Nested loop is a loop inside another loop. Okay, whenever you have a loop inside another loop, that is your nested loop. When a loop is inserted inside another loop, it is called your nested loop. Many loops can be inserted inside one another. Okay, you can have multiple loops, okay, as a nested loop. The syntax for it is, for you will be initialization, your condition and your increment operator, then curly braces will start for the statements, for the statement will be there, then again you can have your for loop, and you can have the following statement. If the condition is true, then that statement is to be executed, no? So you have to give the statement. Fine, then again for loop, statement, okay, and then you are concluding, coming out from the for loop. If the condition is not true, if the condition is true, then this loop will be executed. If the condition is false, then this thing will be executed, the statement in the false condition. Okay, but if this is also false, then the statement in the outer loop will be executed. Okay, now check this program to print the following pattern: 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. How it is happening is, in this we have taken two variables, that is your I and your J. How it is happening is, hash include iostream, conio, same thing, same header files are there, void main, clr, scr, then your for loop is there. Int I is equals to, okay, we have gone up to 5, right? So it will be 5 here. I is less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Then there is one more loop inside that, for int j is equals to 1, j is less than equal to I. If it is less than equal to I, then only this loop will move. Cout j, end of the nested loop. For cout \n starts new line, it will be going to the new line. Then end of the first statement. These are the comments. Whenever we use double slashes, these are the comments, fine, which makes the program much more readable and understandable. Okay, get ch and your program will be concluded and you'll get this output. While loop. How do we use a while loop? The while loop can be used to know the number of times for which a loop must run. Okay, it tells that how many times this loop will be executed. Like the condition is there in while, and then the statements, sequence of statements, and your curly braces will stop. Fine. Then do while loop. What happens in do while loop? It is almost same like your while loop, but in this the statements are written first and the condition is checked later. Okay, in this what is happening is, in while loop the condition is checked first, in for loop also the condition is checked first, but in do while loop what happens is, the statement is executed first and then the condition is checked. Do something first and then test if we have to continue. The result is that the loop always runs because the expression test comes afterwards. Okay, in this what happens is that the expression test is later, so it will definitely execute for once. Okay children, so this thing ends here. Okay, this chapter. I am sharing the PDF also with you, in which you have questions and answers of this chapter. You do those questions and answers, okay, and I will ask for the submission later. Okay, your chapter 3 and chapter 4 are left for the submission. Like, you complete your chapter 4 and after that I will be asking for submission. Okay, and I'll give you the date, and on that specific date only I want your work. Is that clear to everyone? Fine. Okay students, thank you so much.